Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and yes, I know. I was supposed to something the force, not destroy it. I was supposed to save the arena meta, not ruin it. I was supposed to beat them, not join them. Guys, few things are more important in any given meta than playing the decks you actively don't like. At least a little bit, to try to get to feel exactly what's good about them and how it works. But there was also something else just burning on me, just absolutely eating at my soul. Some of you crazies out there are still running Code Spell Cleric. Really? Really? We're running Code Spell Cleric with all the great white cards that exist. Really? That's what we're doing here? That's what's up? So I did want to play a deck that at least shows you where, I guess you want to call it two spell, double spell, mono white should be at. Because we are still featuring Clarion Spirit and we are still featuring Monk of the Open Hand. Both are very good cards and they're very good in a cheap low to the ground curve. Now, a lot of mono white's power in the format is concentrated in the 3-drops, but the 3-drops are also what get you in trouble. Too many elite spellbinders, Skyclave Apparitions, Maul the Skyclaves, or other various 3-mana cards can walk you into things like Divide by Zero. They are better targets for Fading Hope. They are better targets for Jwari Disruption and Syncopate. Whereas just hitting the opponent with a bunch of 1-drops often creates a state that they cannot really recover from. So, if sweepers are at a premium, if there's a ton of sweepers in the meta, maybe a ton of 1-drops isn't the way. But if there aren't that many sweepers, if everybody's used to combating that, and there are a lot more like blue and red decks, for example, then maybe you want to get low to the ground. Maybe you want to go wide instead of tall, which is what a lot of the white decks are doing right now. So I wanted to showcase this version because when I saw it, I was like, all right, this person really gets what's going on in the meta. This deck comes from the standard challenge on MTGO, the long forgotten Magic the Gathering online thingamajig. Why don't they have these tournaments on Arena? I don't know. I don't know how to tell you. But this one was won by MEDVEDEV. Medvedev got first place in a standard challenge running this list. There's also, if you look it up by searching for MTGO deck lists, you can find a sideboard if you want to play best of 3. And I thought this was a really cool take on the build. I've not changed much. I have 2 Cave of the Frost Dragon instead of 1. I think I also trimmed 1 land to add a Legion Angel. Yeah, those are the 2 changes I made for best of 1. I upped the cave count, and I added the Legion Angel. Now, of course, I've played the game, so I know a little bit of how it turns out, so I'm going to give you a little previews and spoilers. But one thing I know is that I didn't get to do much with the Legion Angel, but I wouldn't cut the caves. The caves stood the test of time in these particular battles. You're going to see cave really represent, and you'll see why. But one of the best reasons is that we're back to being a paladin class deck. This little card has been pushed aside a little, but when I first saw Thalia was a card that was coming into the new set, I thought to myself, Paladin class might make a comeback. Why? Turn 1 Paladin class, turn 2 Thalia, and you don't trip over your own Thalia. You already have the class on the battlefield, and you get to use its abilities when and where you need to, and you're already adding additional tax to anybody who wants to interact on your turn, which is a big deal. I think that Paladin class into Thalia is a killer curve, and it's the only thing in this deck that is taxed by Thalia, so it's quite possible you can curve out on Paladin class first. Now, the ability to give an Anthem to the squad is great, but also the ability to give a creature double strike with the Paladin class creates alpha strike opportunities for Cave of the Frost Dragon and any of the other flyers, like the Legion Angel, like the Clarion Spirit, things like that. Because for the most part, we don't have Evasion, we don't have Elite Spellbinder, we don't have Redain. Instead, we are opting for Brutal Cathar as our only removal option, and Adeline Resplendent Cathar as just a truly powerful 3-drop. That plays around the weakness of the deck. The weakness of the deck is sweepers. Adeline survives most of the sweepers in the format that the opponent can get off early, like Crush the Weak and the Cinderclasm, you know, both of those come to mind. There's also the new black one that's 1 and a black to destroy all creatures of mana value 2 or less. Adeline creates a hard-hitting threat that survives those sweeper effects, so it gets the job done. It's one of the only cards in the deck that plays into Divide by Zero and Fading Hope at a very, like, negative cost, but it does so, like, you can play around that if you see it coming, so to speak. Adeline's also best with Hopeful Initiate because it keeps the Initiate growing. Not many other cards are particularly great at that in this deck. So, if you're running a Code Spell Cleric, go wide version of Mono White instead of the rare heavy 13 3-drops version of Mono White, as well as Sun Gold Sentinel Mono White. I think that this is a good pivot. I think Hopeful Initiate is a rare card you can get into. I've seen plenty of people running the Hawk instead, which is a totally, what is it? It's the 1/2 Battlefield Raptor. It's not a Hawk, it's a Raptor. Yeah, you can run the Raptor instead, but I think Hopeful Initiate is a better card by a good margin, but that is a budget concession that you can make. And then otherwise, you just need Thalia, which I'm using the version I got once from a bundle from the Masters, whatever they call those. I'm having trouble remembering everything today. Historic Anthology 2, I think, is where they introduced Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. So I've had that for a long time. So I have different art Thalias. But this is like the new card that you need. Everything else plays right along perfectly. And it's amazing how well Thalia complements this deck and makes absolutely everything in it a little harder to deal with. It really pushes it over the top. What you will see in this video: a rampage, a slaughter. The deck can be stopped sometimes by going second in the mirror and sometimes by being stuck on land, but you're gonna see just how many people are stone dead on turn 4 to some combination of Adeline and 1-drop, 2-drop, or 1-drop, 1-drop, 1-drop. It is absurd that no matter how many instant speed interactions and removals the Izzet decks come up with, they still find themselves behind the 8 ball again and again and again to the team. And that's why I'm going to go ahead and clickbait up the title a little bit, because I do believe it. I think that this is Standard's best deck. I don't think anything is particularly close. I think the go wide version is best against green. It's best against Izzet, and it's serviceable in the mirror. You don't have as many of these exile effects, like if we were to add some Skyclave apparitions to make the mirror a little better, but I still think we can go wide around the mirror and keep them on the back foot, and they're going to have trouble dealing with all of our threats. And if Paladin class gets all the way up to level 5, they're just in huge trouble. So yeah, we're calling it here. If you want to win, if you want to rank up, and you don't want to invest too many wild cards doing it, you probably already have a good amount of these, then this is probably the spot to be. And I hate saying it. You know I hate saying it. But truth is truth. Let's dive in. Let the nonsense begin. If it weren't on the draw, it would be perfect. Oh well. Probably still fine. There's no taxes, so if they were playing control, it would be scary, but it looks like our opponent's got an Arctic tree line. I don't know what that even means. They have 2 Arctic tree lines and a star pupil. So the +1/+1 counters deck, huh? Well, I got those too. I can do +1/+1 counters. A savior. Okay. That's pretty whack. So this thing, it has to train, but they probably have ways to make their other creatures bigger so that it does train. I'm trying to think, should I just let them exile some stuff and then hit it with the Brutal Cathar, rather than Brutal Cathar it to begin with? What if they play Snakeskin Veil? Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is make them make this card work and then try to take it out with Cathar. And we'll see if they punish me for that. I wonder if I should have put a counter on the monk so to make attacking with this a very awkward proposition. Maybe that's the right way to play against it. I don't know. I've never played against the card, so... Alright. That doesn't change anything. Are they just dead here? I think they are. Yeah? And 1 damage to spare. Not bad. Oh, mono white. Too easy. Alright, on the play. Probably means we get to win, unlike last game. No removal, but this deck isn't really built about that. It's really built to beat the blue decks, which means we'll probably won't play any. Never mind. I like being wrong when it's in that way. Let's just Thalia them. They'll love it. They love getting Thalia'd on 2. A little foretell action. Here's Adeline. Just bust them. And let's see how they recover. They better do something good. They got a Demon Bolt. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. There's more where that came from. There's more where that came from, for sure. Now they're at 7. Facing Faceless Haven, Adeline, and Thalia. And they're dead. And that was easy. On the play. Nice. We're on a hot streak. Let's play the thing with 2 power instead of the thing with 1 power. I know these decisions are hard, but we're mono white. We gotta make them. Now I wish I'd played the 2 toughness creature, if I'm being real. I think we trade this anyway, because who cares? Okay, they don't want to trade. They're too obsessed with life gain. I don't think Thalia will actually tax them well, so I'm gonna play the I'm gonna play the Clarion Spirit, because I think we're gonna make a 1/1. It's that or play Adeline next turn. We know they have this, because they wouldn't trade their Mender. So how do we deal with that? How do we deal? Let's make some 1/1s. They might be able to beat us. Life gain's pretty good. This card is absurd. It doesn't gain lifelink, but it does gain flying and vigilance, and going wide around that thing is going to be hard. We're going to need to draw a Brutal Cathar. There's only 4, so it might not happen. Also, the life gain means just trying to alpha strike through them isn't going to work. Well then. Okay, dude. They're going to have 2 3/3s. I guess we're just getting in the air. We make a 1/1, but they'll block it. At least Adeline can force a trade with one of these, I think, before it becomes flying and vigilant and indestructible. Jesus. Oh my god. Oh no. 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 Make them stop. Guys, I don't recommend this. I don't recommend this. When you play against mono white, like, they're gonna draw all the Brutal Cathars. When I play this deck, it won't happen, of course, because that's the way it works. So, can they get enough life? They left up 2 mana. They might have Valorous Stance. Should I attack with Adeline? Let's play this. Cuts off their Valorous Stance. Of course, they could just use it to shoot Adeline. Yep. Easy. Magic's so easy, you guys. We're gonna lose, and it's not gonna be close. Unless I draw running Brutal Cathars. Awesome. They also sneak black mana in there. Cool. What else could happen that would be good? I guess Paladin class. Yeah. Massacre. Absolute massacre. Alright, I'm out. I'm off it. That was enlightening as to how bad mono white can be against Voice of the Blessed. But again, I drew nothing. I didn't draw the removal, and this deck doesn't have a lot of it. Your opponent's mono white, if you play this deck, will draw infinite Skyclave Apparitions and Brutal Cathars. You know it. I know it. Yep. We go first. We've got some spells. Usher, Hopeful Paladin class. Let's see if we get to attack this time. Hive, nothing. Cool. Send a message. Alright. So they get to play Kalain. Kalain's pretty good. But, ooh, now we have an interesting choice. Do we level the class or do we play Adeline? I think we play Adeline. It's just so threatening. The opponent can block the 1/1 and kill it, of course, but they still take 4. We've got a very devastating board that we can level up. They get to play something for 4 mana, though. If it is a Immersturm Predator, the game is afoot. Alright, that's pretty good. It's got first strike, but it's still not going to stop Adeline. Let's go like this. All right. The other attackers, though, fall at the floor of Florian, which isn't great. The opponent can double block it to get it off the board, but then they still have to deal with the rest of the board. She's a killer. All right, Kalain takes one for the team. Pretty rough when they have to start chump blocking this early. If I had attacked with Hopeful here, it would be a 4/5, right? That's a miss on my part. I forgot about the training. That's a miss on my part for sure. All right, so they changed their mind. They say they have to get rid of Adeline. Definitely should have attacked with this. I don't know. Totally forgot there. First time playing the card since release day, so big oopsies. I think the term is brutal. So, do I attack with this? The opponent can trade it, and they take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and they're at 3. Yeah, I think we do. Look at that. It's a 3/4. Probably would have been even stronger if I'd remembered to attack with it that turn. Training. I gotta remember training. On the draw. Yeah. White on white. They run Battlefield Raptor. I run Hopeful Initiate. We both have Cave. They went first, so I should not be able to win. I also just have less removal. Trying to beat blue decks here, man. I played non-stop blue decks before I started, so how come that changed? Coward. There. The non-creature spells are pricey up in here. We're playing around Luminar Gas Pirate. Must be nice. Let's hope they hit the Thalia. They do. Yep, they found their attack step. Yeah? You want to go? What you want? What you want? Okay. Peck. What else you got? Okay. Hopefully we can take advantage of these raptors. Although that's a lot of first strike, isn't it? That's some first strike heavy. So if we play the adversary and attack with this can be a 3/4, but they have 4 power and first strike. It's pretty nasty. So let's play this. Let's pump it, but let's not do the thing yet. Are Battlefield Raptors just like the mirror card because of first strike, as opposed to Hopeful Initiate? Hopeful Initiate on the draw is not great. It's really hard to get your attacks in. Alright, we're passing turn, so now if I double spell, this flips again, and that would be bad. And it's funny, because I really do want to double spell. Very much. I don't think I can win. They have 5 points of first strike that can block. I guess I just wait. I play 1 spell and I wait. Maybe this adversary has to be huge to give me a chance, right? But yeah, double spell, flipping their brute back over, that is a death sentence, I think. Now why can't I draw one of these? It's only fair. Come on now. Well, they're having trouble having 2 spells. That's good news. Gives me some time to put something together. Try to draw my own Brutal Cathar. Also, if we draw another land, we could play this and double pump, and that could be enough to actually make a successful attack. Okay. Yeah? It's like that? It's like that, y'all. Okay, land. Let's go. All right, in. We're going for the bigger board. So they have a ton of first strike, so they get to gang up on, like, say, the Clarion if they want to. But they take a lot of damage. And the Clarion ain't doing much, unfortunately, for us. Now, next turn we can power up the cave. Oh, this has to... I mean, nothing's going to die. I was going to say this has to die. I got excited. But yeah, nothing's going to die because of first strike. Yeah, it's a big cave, too. What is that? 6 power cave? All right, they're drawing land. That's what we needed. That is what we needed to overcome Raptor Central out here. They're probably holding a spell because they want to double spell in the near future. So they have 5, 6. They can gang up on the Hopeful Initiate. But not the Thalia and the Hopeful Initiate. So let's hold it back. Interesting. What are you doing with that? Chump? You don't have enough to kill it, so... Huh. Okay, we're gonna start whittling this board. Let's go. They're starting to chump block. That can be the turning of the tide. Should they have played Shield? Maybe. Maybe they should have played Shield. They're gonna start pumping Thalia. They flip. They target the adversary. Yep, they finally drew the spell they needed. We still don't draw a Brutal Cathar. God, this is bad. And now it's gonna flip back, right? Because we're not gonna play a spell. We are getting the treatment from the deck. They don't have anything that can block this Thalia, though, and this Hopeful. This now, First Strike can't stop these without teaming up. All right. I think Pressure's our only real hope now that they have the Luminarch Aspirant and they still have the Brutal Cathar that's about to flip back. So let's go strong. There's not much else we can do. They can gang up on one of the Initiates, but then they have to block other things as well. Yep, right now it's a lethal, so they have to chump. And they're bailing. They're bailing Greyjoy on that plan. They're gonna kill the smaller one and chump and try to hang on to Redain and the Cathar and the Luminarch Aspirant. I think we're gonna lose, but it's gonna be interesting because if we now all we have to do is break the cave through, and we can win because they're at 3. This flips again. I want to draw a Brutal Cathar, guys. It's kind of killing me that I don't get to. It's breaking my heart. They drew a land. They can power up Haven, which is really good for them. Where should they put this counter? The card that gets targeted for sure if I draw removal is going to be this, so they don't want it here. So they either want it here or here, and they go with the Battlefield Raptor. And they attack with the Vigilant Redain. I can still trade my Thalia for something. Clarion Spirit. Enough mana to still play this. I mean, this is coming in. This doesn't grow, so it could get ganged up on. This is a trade. Let's try to make it. So we finally get a trade of their Thalia for our Thalia. And we get a chump. And they're holding on to Battlefield frickin' Raptor. Man, do they love that Battlefield Raptor. Okay. And now we have something to also put in front of a Faceless Haven. And off the top, what do they find? We've drawn equal amounts of land. This is just really the only deciding factor. It's the only piece of card advantage. And if it hadn't shown up, these would be the deciding factor and they'd have won the game. This is trying to be a deciding factor. It showed up a little late. Ooh. Okay. Pass turn. Thalia. I guess we play it first in case they have something where they want to power up and cast a spell. All right, they have to block the 4/5, so now, like, we can send Initiate here. Don't want to send this, though. If they have a removal spell, we weren't going to beat it anyway. Okay, Haven powers up. Chump. Block. Block. That's a nice 2-for-1. And now it feels like we're there. on the precipice. The opponent holding a spell potentially to try to double spell this brute, but that's not going to stop the cave, and we got there. All right, on the play. And we've got the ultimate. If you play spells, especially counter spells, you're going to hate this in Thalia and Paladin class. But our opponent plays green, so I guess I don't know what's about to happen. The cave biting us a little, but the cave won us the last game. What do you think? Do they have Blizzard Brawl? I guess it takes their whole turn if they do. Trying to decide if I just want to brutal this. I think I do. They can't Snakeskin Veil because of Paladin class. Let's get some damage rolling. If they brawl to get it back, we can brutal to take it again, and it'll cost them their whole turn, it looks like. Expensive Ranger class. They can't cast another spell now, so if they had a Blizzard Brawl, that's an oops. Hopeful Initiate. I think I want to pump Squad and play Hopeful. This attacking would be bad, but we can attack with Thalia. Field of Ruin in mono green, huh? Funky. If they target my cave, I can activate my Haven. Okay, good choice. Definitely the good choice. Although if they're doing this with their turn, they're not doing much else. Are they gonna, like, pump up this Ranger class? Yes, they are. That's aggressive. That is really aggressive. We go to nighttime because they didn't cast a spell. This is a tough one to kill all of a sudden. And we get to do this? Ooh. Ooh. That's so strong. You're jumping. Oh. Somebody order a body bag. Tracker, sure. Sentinel, sure. The problem with leveling Ranger class, you don't get any bonuses if you're not attacking, which means you can't be blocking. So when you're on the back foot, you get punished pretty hard. That was mean. Opponent double spelled, so we just pick them apart here. Always nice to draw Brutal Cathar when you want to. Bloody, disgusting, brutal. And we go first. And I think we're going to... Are we going to Paladin class first because we have Thalia? I really don't know. I think I'd rather play a creature. Maybe the line is like Usher, Clarion Spirit, then Paladin class Thalia, stuff like that. Gonna regret it, though, if they're blue. Yeah, on the play, we should have plenty of time. Go for damage. Go for damage. We are a creature deck. We can do this. All right, green. I mean, they might have Ranger class, but then we tax ourselves out of our Paladin class. Let's do this. Let's go for... Let's do the go wide thing to this green deck. Besides, getting in the air is going to be important. They're probably going to have better creatures on the ground. They did have Ranger class. Makes me feel a little bad. I don't know if I'm going to be able to double spell next turn. Let's see if the opponent wants to trade. Yep. I think that's fine. Here's a troll, probably. Mammoth. Well, we can attack through a mammoth with this play. And they're still trading. We got them on the run. We gotta keep them on the run. Chariot's pretty good. Thalia would have stopped it. I wonder what the exact right way to play this game would have been. I think we hold this back. Although next turn I might play no spells. That's true. Next turn we might play no spells. But making this a 4-3 does make things really tough for the Chariot if they don't have a Blizzard Brawl. But then they also have to play something to crew it, and they have to have the mana for the Brawl. Let's get the Cathar on the field. Because if I no spell into a double spell, that's pretty darn good. Yeah, crewing doesn't do anything here. I'm in the air. This might also be a game where powering up Hive with double strike from the class is how we finish it. So, gotta try to move the truck along to that end game. So they need another body. They have it. Now they can crew Chariot. And we'll see if they play Blizzard Brawl. Okay, they do. Yeah, I would have loved to play this game several different ways. Alright, no spell but no Brula Cathar is unfortunate, but we can get up to double striking shenanigans. If we attack with the Thalia and give it double strike, the opponent will chump it. But next turn the Cave gets in. The Cave could get in for 4 right here, and that's a 2-turn clock. But no, it's a lot better to go to level 3, and then possibly have a double striking Cave next turn. The opponent can double block this Thalia, but they're going to go to 6, and then just powering up the Cave is lethal. They need a reach creature. So they need Ren would be their best. Ren and Chariot. That won't do. I think Unnatural Growth was just lethal there if they had that, so that was another out. Not worth playing around. I got him. The Cave. Welcome to the Cave of Wonders. Well, they're named after an iconic black card in their sleeves. Nissa. On the draw is rough. It's rough. This hand isn't fantastic either, but if we draw land, it's okay. And if we draw another 1-drop, it's pretty good. All right, they play blue. It's sort of what we've been looking for, but this is not a great hand against it. There's no Paladin class and no Thalia. And they're on the play, which is... it's pretty much everything. Kill it. Yeah. Being on the play is everything, right? Okay. Play around Divide by 0 if we can here. They don't have mana for a kicked card. I'm Cinderclasm. Alright, they had double Dragon's Fire. They're in a good spot. They've held off everything flawlessly so far. So did they have Divide by Zero? Let's find out. Not yet. Alright, how about Burn Down the House? Memory Deluge. Make it count. They're on the precipice of top 100. They've probably been on a hot streak. Let's see if they can follow it up perfectly. Goldspan Dragon. Okay. Alright. And an egg. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Your hot streak ends here. Easy. On the play. Monk into Aspirant, into Adeline, into Intrepid Adversary. The only thing that would be better if this was an Usher or Initiate. Poor green. Poor mono green. Oh, what? No 2-drop. You mulligan that. Yeah, I'm putting counters on this every chance I get. I'm going to try to make it too big to Blizzard Brawl with. Yeah, you play your troll, I bet. You got your old growth troll? Ranger class? Blizzard Brawl? Yep. That's why we don't put counters on the Aspirate, because you know they're going to kill it if they can. Hi. How you doing? That's a lethal attack. You better block. Good choice. You probably need to block Adeline or you're never going to be able to do anything for the rest of the game. But I don't even know if it matters. Like, Chariot here doesn't help you. Okay. Cool. You're dead. It's not even right. What are you gonna do, crew? You gonna jump with your chariot? Still dead. Oh man, what a beating. On the play. I'm feeling hopeful. Neverwinter, huh? Been a minute since I saw that card. Neverwinter. So we're gonna be ramping. What can they do on 4 that's terrifying? Chariot? Nah, it's not that terrifying. We've carved those up before. I wonder if I should play Adeline and offer them, like put the counter on the Adeline and then offer them the Aspirant if they don't ramp. That's too sneaky, right? That's probably too cute, just giving them those options. Besides, we get to keep a free token this way. It's really good. I'm really curious what they do with 4 mana. It has to be good. They're going to have 3 green. They played the pathway on green. What's going on? There's a white. There's Yasharn. Okay. That don't mean nothing. That's fodder right there. This is gonna hurt so bad. One. They're down to one. You're gonna need more cats than this. You need way more cats than this. It's not close, man. It's not freaking close. You go first. Oh, goodness. Don't know if I'm going to play Clarion Spirit next turn or not, and then make sure I get a 1/1 the next turn, or if I'm just going to go for widest possible board. Okay. Let's attack first and then make this very difficult decision. And they're going to Fading Hope? If they have Fading Hope, we want to play Monk and Usher, I'm pretty sure. Man, this first turn's a doozy, man. All right. There's a lot to consider, okay? There's a lot to consider. If they have Spike Field Hazard, that's different, but I guess this is still the best way to play it. But against Fading Hope, this is the best way, because if they bounce one of these, next turn we play Spirit and another thing. They got there. They figured it out. They keep on top. Is it a Cinderclasm? I mean, I'm not beating a Cinderclasm. I don't have a Thalia. I don't have a Paladin class. They have an egg. Of course they do. So far they've had a 1-2 curve. They're right in this game. Let's see what they do now. Add a line. Well, we could try to play around Divide by Zero by powering up the Haven. If they have a way to interact with it, that's a very negative experience, but I'm going for that. Playing around Divide. Everybody into the pool. They do have another Fading Hope. Their second one. And they do keep on top for the second time. So their draw is good. My draw is very medium. I need to draw like an Anthem or something. A Paladin class would be epic. Yeah, if I draw a Paladin class next turn, that's where we want to be. Alright, tap land, and it's a cave. That's another land. I guess we go for this. Divide by Zero? 100%. They've had it all, man. They've had every card they could want, except for a sweeper. So we'll see if they come up with one this turn. Down to 4. We have drawn a lot of land. It's very sus. But we still are on the precipice of victory. They're on 4, so they need a 3 and then another spell. So they need to like be able to... They can't go Sciences into the land and then play the 3 mana spell like a Divide and get a trigger from the egg. Oh, that's good. That's huge. That is huge. Let's see what they can do with it. They reveal that they have another land. So is one of these another cheap instant that will get them where they need to go? They're gonna shoot with the Sciences. They're down to just 1 treasure. They're at 6 life. So if they block the Haven, they die. We could also try playing this. I think we just go for the Haven, to be honest. On God. They need another instant, and I don't think they have it. I'm calling you bluff. Dead. 20-0, flawless victory. And we are back for the post-game wrap and rant, because I'm going to show you really quick. 10-3, 47 minutes, 88% on the play, 60% on the draw. And I don't even feel like I played much Magic, to be totally real with you. Like, I mean, we were just on the move. I definitely lost some games where it was like, all right, I didn't draw a second land, or okay, I'm in the mirror and their draw's better than mine. But for the most part, we just rampaged people again and again. And I guess that's what people like about aggro decks. I never really enjoy that about aggro decks. I just feel like, okay, we didn't play the kind of Magic I'm interested in most of the day. There were a few times where figuring out attacking and blocking and when to attack made a decision interesting. And there were a few times where I felt like I had clever lethal by setting up Paladin class Cave of the Frost Dragon. But for the most part, this isn't my jam, and you guys know that. So you stayed till the end. You're the true fans, of course. Thank you very much for being here. So I guess just a little rant. I came back from Vegas and I tried to brew up some fresh, hot, tasty decks for you. And I'm not going to quit trying to do that, but it's very frustrating to sit down with your hot, tasty brews and just get clowned by Galvanic Iteration or Mono White again and again, and just not be able to find a solution to that. I do feel like I feel like unlike a lot of metas we've been in, I don't think the other decks are close to Mono White and Izzet. I think they try. I think the blue-white deck that Huey built that I like playing, I think that one is the closest other thing I've found. But for the most part, like, trying to make a deck that's tier 3 or worse work against 2 S-tier decks, like, the difference is astronomical, and everybody has those S-tier decks because the cards haven't changed much with the last set, and some could say the last 2 sets. Like, Mono White was the best aggro deck before either Innistrad set came out, and Izzet was the best control deck before either Innistrad set came out. So a lot of people have these cards. They just keep playing them. I'm not giving up on brewing, but I'm probably going to do a considerable amount more net decking, taking tournament lists, and also trying to dissect the cards that go and make each individual variant of this deck better and which way they shift it. That's probably going to drive the people who want originality crazy. You'll probably see it in the comments. I'm going to try not to read them. But at least for entertaining those of you who keep up the fight in the arena every day or enjoy watching my fight in the arena every day, at least we'll be hanging in there. We'll be trying to stay competitive, because I think if I give up on that and start playing for fun, I'm going to lose the spark altogether, because the only thing I really find fun about Magic, quite honestly, is winning, and quite specifically beating the decks I want to beat. In this case, White and Izzet. I want them to perish. Every time I start playing, I want them destroyed. And I'm not going to do that with tier 2 decks. It's just the fact. So even if I have to play mono whites and mono green from time to time, at least I'm going to try to tweak them in ways that better abuse those decks. This one in particular it really doesn't want to play Paladin class in Thalia. It's so brutal. So anyway, that's where I sit right now, my relationship with Magic. I'm going to get in. Probably going to play something spiky, sweaty, salty, and then I'm going to get out. The brews, I'm not going to put my heart out there and get them smashed every single day like I used to. That's okay. Sometimes you got to know where you're at in a meta and what it takes to stick with it. And it doesn't mean I'll give up. I may still come up with something. But I'm not going to kill myself if I don't. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. You're cool.